Kristina, and today's class is called Move with Intention. The inspiration for today's sequence comes from a question that has passed through my mind often when I practice yoga, which is, why is it that in yoga we set intentions and not goals? Well, goals are focused on reaching a specific outcome or destination, whereas intentions can be lived with every day, regardless of whether or not you've achieved that destination or outcome. So while goals can be motivating, more often than not, it results in this feeling that what you have currently isn't enough, and oftentimes you'll end up not enjoying the journey on the way to that destination. So today, we're going to be spending extra time in the transitions between poses, using our breath to guide us and to create space for new ideas, new energy, and new experiences. If you have sensitive knees, you might want to bring a small folded up blanket or a sweater nearby to pad you, but other than that, no other props are needed. So without further ado, let's begin. We're going to start today's class sitting on our knees towards the back of the mat. So come and join me in a comfortable position on your knees, resting your hands gently on your thighs. And whenever you're ready, gently closing your eyes. Taking a moment here to arrive on the mat, begin bringing your attention to your breath. Noticing the rise and fall of your rib cage and low belly as we begin to still the mind and relax. I want you to imagine that there is a long golden thread pulling from the top of your head towards the sky, elongating the spine and dropping the shoulders, and relaxing the muscles of the jaw and the forehead. Let's take a moment to check in with ourselves and ask ourselves how we're feeling right now. Whatever that may be, kindly and with compassion, acknowledge and validate how you feel. Beginning to deepen the breath here, we're going to count to 3 on our inhales and to 5 on our exhales. Breathing in and breathing out. Lengthening the breath. Noticing the peaks and the valleys. And giving yourself permission to fully relax. Going to begin cultivating our Ujjayi breath. On every exhale, imagining that you are fogging up a mirror in front of your face, but keeping your throat constricted and your mouth closed. We'll begin to bring that ocean sound into the room. Inhaling in and exhaling. On your next inhale, we're going to raise both of our arms all the way overhead. And exhale, bring the palms down to touch in front of your heart, lowering your chin to your chest. Let's take the opportunity now to set an intention for today's practice. and use our breath today as a guide, inhaling to expand and open, to create new space and length in our body. And with every exhale, to let go of anything that no longer serves you. On your next exhale, gently releasing your hands back down to your thighs, slowly flutter open the eyes and lift your head. On our next inhale, we're going to raise both of our arms overhead once more. And exhale, we're going to bring the hands forward onto the mat, really walking the fingers out so we can come to our first child's pose. Resting your forehead on the mat and allowing yourself to fully melt down into the ground. Let your body be supported by the ground underneath you as we begin to open up the shoulder area. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then we're going to walk the fingertips over to the left side and begin to feel that stretch in your right side body, breathing deeply here. And walking your fingertips back to center. And we're going to start walking them over to the other side, the right side now. Breathing into your left side body. Finding peace and stillness. And if any thoughts come through your head right now, don't worry. Simply observe them and let them pass as you bring your attention back to your breath. Walking your fingertips back to center. Now we're going to walk them a bit more forward to come into puppy dog pose. So ensuring that your hips remain tall and pointed towards the sky. We're going to melt our chest down and our forehead touching the mat. Really beginning to open the heart area here and breathe. Great job. And then bringing your fingertips back, sending our hips back to our child's pose here. Take a few deep breaths. And we're going to begin our flow. So as you inhale, we're going to slowly come up onto our hands and knees for a tabletop position. And go right into our cat-cows, dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone, and looking up on your inhale. Exhale to round the spine, tuck the chin into the chest, and let's immediately send those hips slowly back down to child's pose. Repeating now, inhaling, coming to tabletop, and dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone, and breathe in, beginning to wake up the spine. Exhale, pushing that tailbone back down into child's pose. Let's repeat that a few more times on your own breath, moving slowly and deliberately. Just beginning to wake up the body here. Moving in sync with the breath. And then on your next inhale, let's meet together in our tabletop position in a neutral position, ensuring that your fingers are outstretched. We're going to curl our toes under and just lift to hover our knees off the ground. And then exhale, push back down to our first downward facing dog. And just begin to walk your dog, bending one knee and the other. As you do, sending the opposite heel towards the ground as you lengthen the spine. Take a few deep, delicious breaths here. Beginning to wake up the backs of the legs. And then come into a still position. On your next inhale, look in between your hands. Step or walk to the front of the mat and forward fold. Just relax fully here, grabbing onto both of your elbows.
Feeling that hamstring stretch and ensuring that this forward fold comes from your hip crease and not from your low back. Let your head hang here. Maybe you'd like to nod your head yes, or shake your head no. And feel the weight of your body onto all four corners of each foot as you hang. Excellent. Now releasing your hands to the ground, we're going to slowly roll ourselves up to standing, one vertebrae at a time, until your head is the last thing to come up. Rolling your shoulders back a couple of times to warm it up. We're going to begin a set of dynamic breathing exercises. So I'm going to turn to face you over here, and we're going to start into Tadasana, or mountain pose, ensuring that our head still remains lifted, that long golden thread elongating our spine. Inhaling, bringing both hands to touch overhead, and exhale, palms to touch in front of the heart. Once more, inhaling, palms overhead, and palms to touch in front of the heart. This time we're going to inhale, bringing our hands overhead, and just let them cross above you. And on your exhale, bend the knees and swing down. Really scoop up everything on the ground and open your heart to the sky as you inhale to come back up. Crossing those hands again. And then feel free to speed up this movement, moving with flow and intention. Scoop up on the ground and raise it above you to the sky. Repeating this a few more times on your own breath. Excellent. And then let's bring the palms to touch overhead and lower them through the center back down to our heart. Bringing our hands behind our backs now on the hips. We're going to inhale to really open the chest, have the shoulder blades kiss, relaxing the shoulders for a slight back bend. And then slowly come back up to standing, clasping the fingertips behind the back, coming into a forward fold. And really letting those shoulders and those hands just droop down behind your back here, forward fold. Excellent. And on your next inhale, slowly bringing those hands to the ground, let's step back into our high plank here. Activating the core, and begin to go into a flow. Exhaling to push into downward facing dog, and inhaling to come into a plank position. Really try to create this wave in your body. And move slowly between these two poses. And sync with your breath. And let's come and meet in our high plank now, and then lower our knees to the ground. Exhaling, bending at the elbows, lower yourself all the way down to your belly, and walk your fingers up and outwards. Inhale, cobra, baby back bend, and exhale. Come back to the ground. Let's return our hands to our sides. Inhale to push back up into a tabletop position. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Taking a few deep breaths here. And on our next exhale, we're going to look in between the hands, step or walk to the top of the mat, and exhale, forward fold, hang loose. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, rising all the way up, arms overhead, and exhale, palms to touch in front of the heart. Now we're going to repeat our dynamic breath movements again. Inhaling to raise our arms overhead, let them cross, and exhale, rain down, pick up what's on the ground, bending the knees, and coming back all the way up. Let's do this a few more times, really waking up the body, offering all that you can to the sky above you, raising the energy level of the room. And then let's come back up to standing, arms overhead. This time grabbing your right wrist in your left hand, we're going to bend over to the left. Feeling that stretch in your right side body. And breathing in deeply here. Excellent. Releasing, coming back to neutral. Now grabbing the left wrist in the right hand and bending over to the right. Beginning to feel that stretch in the left side body. And release, excellent. Rolling back the shoulders, inhaling, bringing our arms overhead again. And exhale, palms to touch in front of the heart. One more time, inhaling, arms overhead, this time raining down all the way down to a forward fold. And just hold it here one more time. And then planting our hands on the ground, we're going to come back into a high plank position. Taking a moment to activate the core and the legs, we're going to start flowing by shifting our weight forward and backwards on our toes. Inhaling to come forward and exhaling to go back. Repeating this a few more times on your own count. And then inhale to come all the way forward and then to lower yourself by bending your elbows into chaturanga. And then flipping, inhale, upward facing dog. Opening the heart, broadening the collarbone. And exhale, downward facing dog. So in this class, if I say to go through your flow or to take a vinyasa, you can take either of those two options, the knees in the cobra or the chaturanga dandasana to the upward facing dog. On your next inhale, looking in between the hands, let's step or walk to the front of the mat and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, palms overhead. Exhale, lower them down in front of your heart. One more time. Inhaling, palms overhead. And exhale, palms to touch in front of the heart. And now we'll do a slightly different breathing exercise now. So as you inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to open our arms to the sides here. And then on your next exhale, we're going to swing the right arm underneath you to the left. And the left arm above you and to the right to go into a side bend, feeling that stretch in your left side body. And inhale to come back to neutral, opening the chest here. Exhale, let's go the other way, sending the right arm to the left arm to the right. And inhale, back to neutral. Repeat this a few more times. Beginning to flow like a dancer or a flower in the wind. Making the movements as smooth as possible and moving with your breath. Excellent. And coming back to neutral here, bring your hands back to your back, place them on the tops of your hips. Inhale, opening up the chest and the heart, and a slight back bend. And slowly coming back to a neutral position, let's grab our fingertips and clasp our hands behind our back. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Let your shoulders relax here, feeling that stretch in your hamstrings. Good. And then exhaling, we're going to bring our hands down this time, and then grabbing your big toe with your pointer finger and your thumb, we're going to go into big toe pose. So inhaling to really lengthen the spine. Exhale, pull yourself closer down for a more intimate forward fold here. Excellent job. Great, now slowly releasing the big toe. Let's plant our hands on the ground and step back into our high plank and go through your flow. meeting in downward facing dog. Let's take a few grounding breaths here, activating that ujjayi and maintaining active legs and a long spine. On your next inhale, we're going to raise the right leg to the sky, come onto the left toes, and exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, send that leg back up, and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg back up. Exhale, rounding the spine, knee to nose. One more time, inhale, leg back up. This time, stepping that foot all the way through in between the hands. Let's lower the back knee to the ground, untuck the toes, and swing the arms up into a low lunge. Breathing deeply here, feeling the hip open. Great. And then on your next exhale, we're going to flip the palms so that they face the back of the room and just let it rain down in front of you as you send your hips behind you and your front toes come off the ground, airplane arms. Flipping the palms again, we're going to come back forward, putting our weight into our hips and send those arms back up into a low lunge. Exhale, let the arms rain down, moving slowly and with control. And inhale, send those arms back up in front of you. Repeat this motion a few more times, moving slowly and with intention. Enjoying the feeling of your hips opening. And it's almost as if you're rolling out a carpet or a yoga mat. Inhale, letting that new energy coming into your life, and exhale. Let's throw out everything we don't need right here. And with our hands at the top, let's exhale to bring both palms together in front of the heart. And then slowly and with control, going into a twist, putting the left elbow outside the right knee and opening the hips here, as well as rotating the chest. Great job. And then exhale, placing your hands back down by your right foot. Let's come onto the left toes, lift the left knee, and step back and go through your flow. On your next inhale, raising the left leg to the sky, coming onto the right toes, and bending that knee. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to nose. And one more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Step that left foot through. Bring the right knee to the ground. Untuck the toes. And let's inhale up into a low lunge. Repeating the flow on the other side. As we exhale, flipping the palms, letting them rain down in front of you, sending your weight back into your hips, letting the left toes come off the ground. Flip the palms again, and inhale, low lunge. Repeating this flow, letting the new energy come in, and disposing of anything that no longer serves you. We're going to be increasing the open space in the left hips, as well as opening the chest here on our inhales. Now we're going to bring our hands together to touch overhead. Exhale, palms to touch in front of the heart. Going in for the twist, let's place our right elbow outside of the left knee. And rotate the chest open here for a twist, looking over your left shoulder. Great. Exhaling, bring the hands back down beside your left foot. Come onto the right toes in the right knee. And let's kick back our foot into high plank. Go through your flow. On your next inhale, looking in between your hands, step or walk to the front of the mat and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, arms overhead, and exhale, palms to touch in front of our heart. Repeating this breathing exercise now with our dancing arms, we're going to inhale to bring our hands overhead, and then exhale, let's bring those hands out to the right and the left of us, and really opening up the chest here, and then begin the windmill movement. So as we inhale, let's bring that right hand to the left and the left hand overhead to the right, feeling the stretch in the left side body. And inhale, coming back to neutral, other side. And back to neutral, repeating this a few more times, using your breath to guide you. Your inhales to expand and open the chest. Exhale, see if you can bend even more. Moving with grace, almost like dancing. And let's come back to neutral, bringing our hands down behind us. We're going to place our hands on our hips. Inhale, slight back bend here as we open the heart, looking up. And exhale, clasping the fingertips behind us. We're going to come into a forward fold and fully relax. Let your head hang loose. Let your shoulders be completely relaxed. And exhale, slowly bringing the hands to the ground. This time I want you to place your hands with the backs of the hands on the ground and fingertips pointed behind you. And we're going to actually step on our hands so that your toes are going into the wrists. Inhaling to lengthen the spine and exhale to go deeper into the forward fold. Great job. And release, bring your hands out from underneath your feet. We're going to plant our hands down on the ground and step back into a high plank and go through your flow. Breathing into downward facing dog here. On your next inhale, we're going to float the right leg up to the sky. And exhale, bending the knee, bringing it to the nose. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to nose. And one more time, inhale to lift. Exhale. Step that right foot in between the hands. Take a moment to steady yourself. And keeping that left knee raised, we're going to raise our arms on an inhale into a high lunge this time. Activating the thighs as if you're squeezing an invisible block between them to keep the hips square. And this time, when we exhale, let's bring the arms out open again. When we inhale, we're going to hinge forward at the hips and reach in front of us, really lengthening the body. And then exhale. It's like pulling a big piece of dough apart, opening the chest. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, coming back, opening the heart. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale. Repeating this a few more times. Reaching ahead. Almost like swimming in the air. Excellent. And then inhale, bring both your arms overhead. Let's have the palms touch. And
front of our heart. And then keeping your gaze on the ground, we're going to go in for a twist, using the left elbow to push against the right knee. And if you feel stable, you can try to look behind you. Ensure that back leg stays strong. Excellent. Putting our hands back on the ground, stepping back into a high plank, and go through your flow. On your next inhale, we're going to repeat this on the left side. So floating your leg up, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lift. And finally, stepping that left foot through in between the hands, strengthening that right leg and keeping it straight. Inhale, high lunge. Activating the thigh. Keeping the hips square towards the front. And on our next exhale, we're going to fan the arms out again to our sides. And inhale to reach forward. Exhale, let's stretch it out, really opening the heart. Inhale, forward reach. Exhale, broaden the arms. Moving with your breath here, and then finally, bringing your hands to touch overhead. And the palms in prayer pose in front of your heart. We're going to go in for the twist on the left side, putting the right elbow outside of the left knee. And then looking down or over your left shoulder. Exhale, bring the hands back to the ground. Step into your high plank and go through your flow. We're going to meet this time in child's pose. Resting your forehead on the mat, closing your eyes. Take a few moments here just to check in with your breath and your body. And observe if there's any new space that we've created, if anything feels different from when we started the practice. On your next inhale, slowly coming back up to a tabletop position. And then exhaling to push into our downward facing dog. We're going to continue our set into some standing poses. So as you inhale, looking in between the hands, step or walk to the front of the mat. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold once more. And inhale, let's come all the way up into standing, bringing our arms overhead, and exhaling, palms to touch in front of the heart. Now we're going to go into some standing poses. So taking your left foot, we're going to step it back about one leg's length so that the left toes are pointed towards 9 o'clock, right toes at 12, and your right heel is in line with the left. And bring our arms out for Warrior Two pose, ensuring that your front knee is not falling inwards. Take a few deep breaths here. And then we're going to flip the palm and inhale to reverse that warrior, feeling the stretch on the right side body. And exhale, coming back to Warrior Two, flipping the wrist, inhale, reverse warrior. We're going to repeat this flow a few more times, going in between Warrior Two and reverse warrior. Great job. And let's come back to Warrior Two. Hold it here for a moment. And then placing the right arm, the forearm, onto the right thigh, we're going to sweep that left arm below our face and into an extended side angle, gazing up at the sky. And exhale, let's come back into warrior two. And then placing that arm down again, sweeping the left arm in front of the face and above us, extended side angle. And back up to warrior two. Repeat this flow a few times slowly on your own breath. Maybe you want to trace the trajectory of your left fingertips as they move in front of your face and below you and above you. And let's come back up to warrior two, and then finally straighten that right leg. Let's reach forward on the inhale. Exhale, extended triangle pose, letting your right hand fall somewhere on your right shin, and have your left hand towards the sky, looking upwards. Great job. And then we're going to exhale back into warrior two. This time, shifting our leg a little bit forward, the back one. Find a spot on the ground to really steady yourself with your right hand. And we're going to come up into a half moon. So keeping that right foot extended, strong standing leg. Really trying to lift that left leg and open the body to the side. And if you're able to, you can look up. Excellent. Slowly and with control, let's bring that back foot back to the ground. Warrior two. Resting the right forearm here. Let's do one more extended side angle. And then look down to the ground. Bring both hands on the right side, or on the sides of your right foot. Come onto the back toes. Step back into high plank and go through your flow. On your next inhale, looking in between the hands, step or walk to the front of the mat, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, arms overhead, and exhale, palms to touch in front of the heart. We're going to repeat this on the other side now. So I'm going to switch sides to come to this side of the mat. And keeping our left foot pointed at 12 o'clock, let's step the right foot back this time. So that the right toes are pointed towards 3. And we're going to bend into that front left knee. And extend our arms for warrior two. Keeping that left leg open so that the knees is not falling inwards. And pushing strongly into your back leg as well. Let's inhale, flip that front palm, reverse warrior. And exhale back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Once more. Great. Inhale, warrior two. Let's meet back in warrior two after a few flows. And then bringing the left forearm to rest on the left knee, or the left thigh. Sweeping the right arm in front of the face. Extended side angle. And exhale to come back into warrior two. And let's repeat that extended side angle. Let's try to make the movement continuous now. Really gazing at your right fingertips as they travel below you, in front of your face, and behind you. As we move slowly and with intention. Excellent. Taking a few more moments in warrior two, and then we're going to straighten that left leg. Maybe you want to walk in the back leg a little bit. And then inhale to come forward. Exhale, extended triangle, looking up at your right hand. Great job. And then bending our knees, coming back into warrior two. This time, feel free to find a comfortable spot for your left hand and front of it to the side of your left foot. And then whenever you're ready, coming into a half moon. So straightening that standing leg, opening up the chest to the side, kicking that back leg higher. And if you can, looking up. Excellent job. Breathing here, finding a point of focus to help you maintain your balance. And then slowly bending that front knee and placing that back foot on the ground. Let's come back into warrior two one more time. Back into extended side angle. And then exhale, looking down at the ground, placing both hands to flank your left foot. Come onto the right toes. Step back and go through your flow. We'll meet in child's pose. Excellent job. Coming back to your breath. Relaxing here. You've almost reached the end of class. On your next inhale, we're going to come forward into our puppy dog pose again. Just let yourself melt into the mat, keeping your hips into the sky, opening the shoulders. Just relax. And then we're going to thread the needle to start winding down. So, sending your left hand underneath your right shoulder so that the palm is facing up and the back of your hand is on the ground. Look underneath your right armpit here and breathe. Carefully bringing that left hand back to where it was. Let's repeat this on the other side. Threading the needle underneath the left armpit with your right arm. Looking underneath your left arm. Feeling that stretch. And breathing deeply. And finally, returning that right arm to in front of you. Let's come slowly on an inhale forward and just rest on your belly, completely relaxing. And we're going to do one restorative Sphinx pose. So just keeping your forearms parallel as you just sort of prop yourself up like the Sphinx. Enjoy this small back bend here, relaxing. And then finally, we're going to bring both of our elbows outwards and just rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. Taking a few moments to come into the self. Breathing deeply. And whenever you're ready, we're going to roll onto our backs for final resting or savasana. So finding a comfortable position so that your legs can just splay out to the sides freely. Your palms can be open to the sky to receive that energy. And you can allow yourself to fully relax. Gently closing your eyes and giving your body the time and the space to absorb the benefits of this practice. Slowly beginning to invite some movement back into your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes, rolling out the wrists and the ankles, letting your head roll from side to side, just massaging out the back of your head. And if you'd like, you can take an optional stretch by bringing both your arms overhead and inhaling to really reach, take up all the space that you rightly deserve. And when you exhale, let's come and bring our hands to the tops of our heart. Take a few more moments to be with yourself. And on your own time, gently rolling over to the right side of your body, bending your knees into a fetal position, using your right arm as a pillow, keeping your eyes closed here. Taking a few more moments with yourself. And whenever you feel ready, using your left arm to push into the ground, you come back up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed, and bringing your hands to rest again on top of your knees. On your next inhale, let's bring the arms overhead one last time, and exhale, bring the palms to touch in front of the heart. Let's lower the head here. Thank you again for sharing your practice with me today, and for allowing the opportunity to really enjoy the journey as well as the destination. The yoga practice continues when you step off the mat. To remember that goals aren't everything, and that living with intention will allow you to experience what you're looking for at any moment of any day. Namaste.